following program is brought to you in living color.
This program is for mature audiences only.
Please have your fake ID ready.
It is 3 p.m. in New York City. In Los Angeles, it's high noon. And from our broadcast nerve center in St. Francis, Wisconsin, it is 2 p.m. God's time. Brace yourselves. Broadcasting live on Spreaker Web Radio, it's time for your midday
Hot Cheddar Injection.
hot, melty, cheesy news, music, politics, and commentary, and your cheesy phone calls at 414-501-4003. Now, here's your cheesy cheesemeister, Bill Schmulfeld.
He makes it sound like a bad thing. Some of the best things in the world are cheesy. Cheesy fries, cheese steak, cheeseburgers, little fun every now and then. Good afternoon across the fruited plains. I'm Bill Schmalfelt, and this is your hot cheddar injection for Friday, February 12th, 2016. On the agenda for today, what do we have for you? Well, we're going to talk about how we can lower drug costs today if we wanted to, if we had the political will to do so. And then we're going to give a listen to an album I recorded back in it was either late 2013 or early 2014, I don't recall which. It's called Andrew Breitbart is Still Dead, and I Ain't Feeling So Great Myself. That's coming up, but first I want to start out with a little bit of court news. As you may or may not know, I'm involved in a lawsuit against some people that I believe have been defamatory. I've had trouble getting service to some of the people involved, but apparently that has been solved. Eric Peterson in Paris, Tennessee, got his summons yesterday. And Sarah Palmer, I'm told she will receive hers today or tomorrow. You can run, but you can't hide. I gotcha! You thought you'd get away with it, didn't you? You thought that I'd forget you now, didn't you? Yeah, The process server found you now. Give it hell, come on, hey! I said, hey, good God. Hey! Hey! You thought you'd get away with your lies and libel. So now put your right hand on the Bible. You thought there was no way that I'd get to you. Yeah. The process server found you, man. Now you're screwed. Yeah. Now, Eric, it's been a long time. Sarah, I'll cook your goose now. Hold it. So pucker your Buddha holes. Hold it. Come on. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Now ease up on me now. Hey, good God. Hey. Good God. Hey. Here comes the fight now. Ha ha. Good God. You ducked and dodged me. Now you're stuck with it. The law is the law, and you gotta obey it. Without you skip like a tiny dancer. You've got 3 weeks now to give me your answer. Now give it here. You never should libel on me. Give it here. Don't hold back now. Give it here. Don't say ain't nothing, just give it here. Come on, give it here. Give it here. Give it here. Give it here. Give it to me now. Hey, good God. Hey, gotcha. Never should have messed with me. Gotcha. You should have walked away from me. Gotcha. Give it on here. I gotcha. You thought you got away with it. Gotcha. Oh, I gotcha. Give on up. I gotcha. Get on here. I gotcha. The process never found you now, didn't they? I gotcha. Oh, I gotcha. No question about that. See you in court.
Hot cheddar injection.
The ram has touched the wall. That was the old-time Roman battle call. And what that meant was that you must surrender your weapons tender, and Caesar would let you live. But all that matters, the ram that batters, once it touches your walls, he won't forgive. The ram has touched the wall. And in the old days that meant towns would fall. But nowadays some guy who thinks he's Caesar, this wheezing geezer, who thinks he's smarter than all, up to his neck in shit, he don't know when to quit. The ram has touched the wall. The ram has touched the wall. The ram has touched the wall, and that must surely mean the end of all of our concerted efforts to negate all the filth and hate and to give up without a fight. Yet every pervert will feel the butt hurt when they see I've got them dead to rights. The ram has touched the wall, but the specific ram, he's got no balls. And all that he can do is sit and mumble and break and crumble, 'cause he's behind the 8 ball. He may not know it yet, but he will soon regret. The ram has touched the wall. The ram has touched the wall, but it is not the wall he thought would fall. The chowderhead who causes agitation through defamation, I'll see him soon here in court. This snotty whiner, a palatiner, better hope that I'm the forgiving sort. The ram has touched the wall. It turned out not to be a ram at all. Who would have guessed that stupid right-wing creeps would show up with sheep? In fact, the ram was a lamb, and you should hear them cry. Now that we've caught the lie, oh, the wall has touched the lamb, poor little sheepy. The wall, the wall, the wall, the wall, the wall has crushed the lamb.
Hot cheddar
Injection.
See, now this is something I've been on about for quite some time. And I'm surprised that especially Senator Bernie Sanders hasn't picked up on this. You know how much money Big Pharma spends on advertisements every year? It's a lot. It's a whole bunch, as a matter of fact. According to 2014 data, if the drug company Pfizer chose not to do direct-to-consumer advertising, not only would we have fewer bad ads to criticize, like the ad for Viagra, the total spending on direct-to-consumer advertising would be 30% less than it is today. How much do you think that Big Pharma spends on direct-to-consumer advertising? $4.53 billion. $4.53 billion. And these are for products you cannot go into the store and purchase. These are the drugs that you have to have prescribed to you. For instance, they say, talk to your doctor about, well, if I don't have that condition, why would I need to talk to my doctor about it? Am I supposed to walk into my doctor's office and say, hey, I saw some good things about that Acceptitol product. I might not mind having a little of that myself, if you don't mind. No, that's not how it happens. My doctor is supposed to know what's wrong with me. If I go in presenting a set of symptoms, I rely on the doctor telling me what's wrong with me and how to make it better. Everybody knows about Viagra. We don't need to see the slinky bathing suit model stretched out on a bed wearing a football uniform. You can't just walk into a store and purchase Viagra. Same thing with Cialis and these other drugs for like chronic rheumatoid arthritis or plaque eczema on your skin. That stuff, if you've got, your doctor should tell you about. And this medication has shown promise. Have you seen the commercial with the little gut guy, the intestines that I think now he's going to baseball games or such? If I had whatever disease that I think this is supposed to be talking about, irritated bowel or whatever, I would go to my doctor and say, you know what? I sure would like something that would help this problem I have of having to jump up in the middle of dinner and run to take a crap. My doctor would say, well, there's this new thing on the market we could try. You know, this isn't like aspirin. This isn't like over-the-counter pain relievers or cold medicines where one is basically the same as the other and they have to advertise to get your attention. No, this is stuff that you cannot and never would be able to go into a store and purchase. There are reasons for that. And a lot of that has to do with the safety of the medication and whether or not you have any contraindications for it. That's stuff your doctor has to work out with you. I mean, you cannot just walk into a store and say, give me some Acceptitol, for instance.
I'm just like everyone else in America. I've been on an antidepressant medication as long as I can remember. And it worked. Every morning I'd get out of bed, take my medication, and look forward to a bright new day full of promise and adventure. Then by the end of the day, the realization that I still had the same dead-end bullshit job, and my wife was still the nagging bitch she always has been, and my kids were still disobedient little brats, I go to bed every night just horribly despondent over the way my life was turning out. That's when I asked my doctor about Acceptitol.
Acceptitol, fluvocertraperoxapam, has been clinically proven to eliminate emotions and expectations in adults.
Now I take an Acceptitol every morning and nothing matters. My boss is a jerk? Meh. My wife cheats on me with the UPS guy? Meh. My kids are sniffing glue? Meh. I just don't care anymore.
Acceptitol has been shown to cause explosive bloody diarrhea, congestive heart failure, dry skin, dry mouth, dry eyes, and bad breath in dogs. Don't take Acceptitol if you are driving, handling heavy machinery, or firearms until you know what effect Acceptitol will have on your inner rage. Acceptitol has also been shown to cause cancer of the liver, cancer of the anus, cancer of the heart, and sudden death from otherwise unexplained reasons. Don't take Acceptitol if you have a reason to wake up in the morning. Acceptitol should not be taken while drinking alcohol, smoking, or breathing. Ask your doctor about studies that show Acceptitol may be responsible for spontaneous combustion in people over 40. Acceptitol should never be taken in combination with any other drug. Your doctor does not have time to explain all the risks, so have someone read the tiny print in the FDA-required warning pamphlet to you.
I used to want to kill myself. Now I just don't care. Thank you, Acceptitol.
If you are just sick of it all but don't have the guts to kill yourself, ask your doctor if Acceptitol will help you. Not to be taken internally, externally, or sublingually, available in 10-pound suppository form only.
Hot cheddar.
Injection.
You see, when the warnings take up more than 75% of the commercial, that tells me something. That's why you have to talk to your doctor. But it's not your job as a patient to walk in and say, hey, as long as I'm here, do you have any of that Invokana stuff I've been hearing about? Well, you don't have the... Well, yeah, I know, but I might someday. Can we write me a prescription and I can take it and not get it? No. 4 point whatever billion dollars a year. Remember how with the stroke of a pen they took cigarette and tobacco ads off TV? With the runaway costs of pharmaceuticals, I think what we could be talking about is an executive order of some sort saying no more ads from big pharmaceutical for products that you as a consumer cannot purchase. Pfizer, for instance, they're the Viagra people. They led the way with spending for 2015 among pharma brands. 5 spots on the top 10 list for the year, including number 1 and number 2. Seizure and pain drug Lyrica came in first with $116.2 million spent in 2015. The pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine, Prevnar 13, came in second with $101.7 million. Would not that money better serve humanity if it were spent on research, on finding cures, on clinical trials? I can't walk into my doctor's office and say, hey, I saw that commercial for Eliquis. Can I get some of that? Well, you aren't at risk for a stroke or anything like that, are you? Well, you should know. You examined me. Well, I don't really see where you need an anticoagulant, Mr. Schmalfeld. Oh, all right. Well, how about that Xeljanz? Can I get some of that? Do you have arthritis? Well, it kind of hurts when I do this. Well, then stop doing that. All right. How about Chantix? They got some great commercials. I'd like to get some of that Chantix. Do you smoke? No. Then why do you need a smoking cessation drug? Oh, is that what that's for? I just like the ad. You know, at least in part to the new, and this is technical terminology, but SGLT2 inhibitor class of drugs, diabetes ad spending rose to $468 million in 2015. That's an increase of 141% from the $194 million that was spent in 2014. In the past year, different brands for treating diabetes ran 37 different commercials more than 66,000 times on national television. If I've got diabetes, for one thing, I don't know unless my doctor has diagnosed it. And I'm not going to sit there and debate with my doctor. Well, how about that AVQ or whatever that was? Well, actually, Mr. Smallfelt, we think you would do fine with a... No, they don't have a commercial. I don't want any of those generic drugs, although they are exactly the same composition as the brand name pharmaceutical. Tell you what, I feel I may at some point need that Farzija or whatever that is. I don't even know what that's for, but damn, I love their commercials. Prevnar, Invokana, Humira, Eliquis, Xeljanz. That sounds like the name of a Marvel Comics supervillain. All bow in the presence of the mighty Xeljanz and my little brother, Xarelto. Think of the good that could be done if that money were diverted to research, product improvement, safety improvements, and not spent on commercials for products you cannot buy. It's a tragedy. I mean, really it is, and it's something we could do something about today. Today, if we had the political will to do so. I mean, think about it. 4.5 something billion dollars. That's a lot of money. Now, a lot of these drugs, of course, have to go through clinical trials, and those can be expensive, but I expect any company to use its profits, funnel them back into the company to make a better product. I mean, think of the clinical trials for boner pills, for instance. How many people have died? I will get to that in a second. How many people had to die in the testing phases of Viagra? Well, he had a stiffy, but he also had a heart attack. Is there any way we could fix that? I don't know. I must have a loose connection in my microphone cord here. I know I got a loose connection somewhere. All right, get in there. There we go. The clinical trials and testing that goes into the approval of a drug is time. It's costly, it's expensive, and it can be very dangerous for the participant.
This is Dr. Horst Munchel-Esser from the University of Zurich, and I'm here today on this presentation meant exclusively for the Food and Drug Administration to demonstrate the efficacy of our new erectile dysfunction medication that we have technically given the brand name of Penetrex, and you'll see why as the demonstration continues. Now, Penetrex is a novel medication. It does not work in the same method as Viagra, which is sildenafil citrate, or Cialis, which is tadalafil, which works primarily on the brain. Penetrex is a combination of the above drugs that we call citrosildentadafil, and it works on the spinal column, making the brain irrelevant in the maintaining of an erection. Too many times somebody will take a Viagra pill or a Cialis medication, but not really be in the mood to have sexual relations. So they have an erection, but they are not really inclined to use it. These medications do not make you amorous or put you in the mood for sex. They merely provide you with the mechanics with which to do so should you feel inclined. Penetrex works differently, as we will demonstrate today for our FDA guests and for pharmaceutical companies that may be watching this, doctors who may be interested in investing in this project. This clinical trial will be conducted here in front of you now. We've enlisted 2 people for this trial. And this burly, swarthy gentleman next to me has asked that we not identify him, as he's not certain of the statute of limitations in all 50 states.
Yo, hi there.
All right, he's going to carry this box of knives into the room that you will see once we draw the curtain, and you can look through the window there. There he is. He's setting the box of knives down now, and he's coming back out. Now, we have enlisted the services of an adult film actress. Her name is not important. She's marginally attractive, and she will suit our needs, considering that the subject of our clinical trial is a young college-age youth who would probably have no trouble at all maintaining an erection under any circumstance. My male assistant here will invite the subject of the clinical trial into the room. His name is kept secret under HIPAA regulations, so there's no need to go into that. How are you today, young man?
I'm fine, Doctor. I'm looking forward to this, all right.
We promised him $25 and told him the nature of the trial will mean that he gets to have sex with a beautiful woman. And half an hour ago, we administered Penetrex in a 5-milligram dosage, which we expect to be the standard dosage for Penetrex. And as you can see, he is naked and raring to go. Isn't that right, young man?
You betcha, Doctor. I've never been more ready for anything in my entire life.
All right, then. If my male assistant will lift the partition, and there you will see on the bed the beautiful, well, marginally attractive pornography prostitute in a position that can best be described as welcoming to the young man. Now, young man, when you see the green light go on, you are free to approach the adult film actress. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, then, and my male assistant will stand behind you to make sure nothing goes wrong. All right, then. Turn on the green light.
Hot dog!
And there he goes. And now, this is where Penetrex is different than Viagra and Cialis. My male assistant will administer 2 bullets to the back of the young man's head. Now, as you can see, he's quite dead. His face, as a matter of fact, is mostly gone. But observe, as you can see, as I told you, Penetrex acts on the spinal column and does not need a brain to function. So his scrotum, this dead young man's scrotum, is now acting like 2 small feet as it attempts to drag the body of this young man to the still languishing pornographic prostitute. Now, the young man is obviously too heavy for the penis and scrotum to drag him the entire way, so I'm going to ask my male assistant to duct tape one of the butcher knives to the leg of the bed there, and yeah, very good. Is it good and secure? All right, then. And then rotate the corpse so the penis can drag the body the few feet toward the knife. It's amazing how this works, really. And there he goes. There it goes. He's dragging the body towards the knife, and look at how he uses a back and forth motion on the knife taped to the foot of the bed to remove and detach himself from the body of the young man that it once belonged to. Don't worry about loss of blood, because once you've taken Penetrex, you're going to stay hard for at least 4 hours. I mean, there's none of this worrying about going limp when you least expect it. Ah, there, he's free. Good. Now watch as
Come on, baby.
Yes, it's climbing the leg of the bed. It's climbing the leg of the bed and making its way inchworm style towards the young woman, who spreads her legs and accepts the detached penis and scrotum, which has achieved its goal. So I think you will agree this is a very successful demonstration. We're not going to shoot everybody in the head who takes Penetrex. However, we felt this was the best way to demonstrate to you the sheer impossibility of Penetrex not working due to emotional reasons or any other sort of distraction that could cause, like, Viagra to fail or make Cialis go limpy-wimpy on you. No, I think you'll find that once you've taken Penetrex, you'll have a stiffy that's a jiffy. Does somebody want to check on her, see how she's doing? We have no idea how long this thing could go on. This is our first test, and the young lady is starting to turn a little blue around the lips. Would you mind just going in there and withdrawing? Oh, all right then. Well, leave it alone. We'll come back in a couple hours and see how she is. Thank you for your attention. We're going to have to list that as a side effect, I believe.
Yeah, you don't want to get between an angry penis and its object of desire.
cheddar injection.
Now, sometimes these drug commercials can work to counter purposes. It seems to me, and I'm just Bill Schmalfeld here on hot cheddar injection, it seems to me that money could be spent more wisely to treat opioid addiction. There are a lot of people who live on a steady diet of pain relievers, but the guy in this commercial, he only really seems to have one problem. He doesn't seem to be in any great pain. Not enough pain to where he has to take an opioid. But his problem could probably be solved by X-Lax. This commercial aired on the Super Bowl. Okay, so the spot begins with a depressed-looking gentleman sitting at the counter at a diner. The word envy on the screen, and his arms folded in front of him, looking very constipated. He tries to get sugar out of a sugar dispenser, but the thing is full of sugar, but it's not coming out of the dispenser. And then he turns to his left and he sees a guy coming out of the bathroom with a newspaper under his arm, and he hikes up his pants and smiles and looks carefree as anything you could ever imagine. The poor constipated gentleman looks at the freshly relieved fella as he sits down with his friends and gets up slowly from his stool, pardon the pun, and walks to the door of the restaurant.
If you need an opioid to manage your chronic pain, you may be so constipated. It feels like everyone can go, except you.
As he walks outside, he notices that there's a guy curbing his dog. The dog is obviously squatting to take a poo, and this guy is obviously very jealous.
Tried many things, still struggling to find relief? You may have opioid-induced constipation, OIC. It's different and may need a different approach.
He walks past a display window and sees prunes and fiber and other stuff like that, and it's all useless. It doesn't help him at all.
Opioids block pain signals.
He takes a deep breath, huffs it out, and continues on his constipated way.
But can also block activity in the bowel.
See, now he's trying to get through an intersection, but this crowd of people crossing from right to left and left to right in front of him, they're slowing down his progress. He just can't get a break.
Which is why it can feel like your opioid pain med is slowing your insides to a crawl.
And now he looks at a snail. Why there's a snail crawling across a ledge in a busy downtown city is, well, it's obvious. It's his insides have slowed to a crawl. And then the snail turns into a poster of a snail with a opioid pill for a shell saying, OIC is a different type of constipation. The gentleman stares at it and smiles at it.
Longing for a change? Have the conversation with your doctor about OIC and ask about prescription treatment options.
And in the final shot, we see an attractive woman giving our constipated hero the come hither glance, a smile, and as she walks away, the gentleman notices to his dismay she has toilet paper stuck to her heel. So, she gets to poop, everybody gets to poop, but this poor bastard.
Made on behalf of those living with chronic pain and struggling with OIC.
I was struggling with blocked bowel. If you weren't on the opioid pain medication, you wouldn't have the constipation problem. For one thing, I believe too many doctors are in the back pocket of Big Pharma and dole out the medicine, knowing that it's not going to help the underlying condition, but it will keep the patient more or less comfortable until he comes yammering back for more. And then the price goes up. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there is something we could do about it. If we just outlawed advertising on television for drugs that you cannot buy without a doctor's prescription and a recommendation. The ads are useless unless you have psoriasis or diabetes or constipation or any of those other problems. You can't just walk into the store and say, "Give me some of that poop loosener I saw on the Super Bowl there." No, it's wasted money, and it would dramatically lower the cost of prescription medications and thus all health care costs if the government just said enough, like they did with cigarette advertising. Just stop it.
Hot cheddar
Injection.
Now, to the many friends who wait for him, we present Just Plain Bill, barber of Hartville. The story of a man who might be living right next door to you. The real-life story of people just like people we all know.
But Rogers in the 25th century. And a shower of silver dollars from Popsicle Pete's money box. Buck Rogers, who was held in suspended animation for 500 years and is now adventuring in the amazing world of the 25th century. By turning a little dial to project us ahead in time, we're able to be right with Buck and his friends in the wonderful world of the future. A world that sees a lot of our scientific and mechanical dreams come true. You know, there's nothing supernatural or mystic about Buck. He's just an ordinary, normal human being who keeps his wits about him.
You are isolated on a remote plantation in the crawling Amazon jungle, and an immense army of ravenous ants is closing in on you, swarming in to eat you alive. A deadly black army from which there is no escape. We offer you Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. Tonight, we escape to the Amazon jungle and to a creeping, crawling terror, as Carl Stevenson told it in his famous story, Leiningen versus the Ants.
Anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends, the Goldbergs, are here.
Time now for Young Winter Brown, brought to you today by the makers of Arrow Wax.
In Michael Forsythe's hotel room, Evan Brown has spoken words which Michael has hoped she would speak ever since he fell in love with her months ago, after Dr. Anthony Loring believed a lie about her and discarded her and was tricked into marriage by his wife, Millicent. For Evan has just said to Michael,
so much has changed, and so much remains the same.
Hot cheddar injection.
All right, now we're going to focus on an album that I recorded either in late 2013 or sometime in early 2014. And this makes the conservatives mad as hell. You probably remember the name Andrew Breitbart, muckraker extraordinaire. He ruined so many lives with lies and treachery, and this group that I'm suing, for instance, a gang of right-wing extremist thugs who owe their allegiance to Andrew Breitbart. They followed his lead even after Breitbart went back to Jesus on a cold morning in early 2013. With Andy gone, there was nobody really to direct their activities. And there are shenanigans underway that I do believe that Andrew Breitbart would never put up with. He may have been evil, but he was shrewd, and he was smart enough not to get himself entangled in things that would end up blowing up in his face. But the Breitbart machine continues long after Andy went to hell.
Oh, I hear the screaming of each ne'er-do-well. Andy's in hell. The demons employ their devices so well. Andy's in hell. Does the devil feel what I feel when he comes near? I soil myself audibly. You'd think that he could hear. I got what I deserved, as one might tell. Andy's in hell. Lucifer, Beelzebub, you know it well. Andy's in hell. The stench of the sulfurs, a menacing smell. Andy's in hell. I was almost home, safe and warm, when pop went my heart. I found myself in this place, my soul all torn apart. Wish there was a way out of this fiery cell. Andy's in As I glanced at the TV, some bleach blonde nitwit cried, "Ebola, Ebola, Ebola." She was clearly another scaremongering twit. Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. So I turned to my wife, who there next to me sat, and I got her attention and said, "Look at that! They must think we're as dumb as a kangaroo rat. Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. My wife rolled her eyes just as she oft times will. Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. So why do you sit here and watch right-wing swill? Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. Don't you have anything more productive to do than rant at the TV, which cannot hear you, and complain about Fox News' right-wing point of view? Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. I took a deep breath as I rose from my chair. Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. On TV, that numbskull was still in mid-scare. Ebola, Ebola, Ebola. Well, if you remain callous to corporate-owned news, I said to my wife, in a self-righteous muse, then don't be surprised when the Koch brothers use Ebola, Ebola, Ebola.
Hello, I'm Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about me out there that I'd like to take a moment of your time to clear up, if I may. For one thing, I'm not crazy. That seems to be one of the more popular misconceptions out there in the mainstream media, is that I am a crazy man, which I am not. Would a crazy man love America as much as I do? You might even say I'm crazy about America. But I am not crazy about gay sex. No, sir. Men putting things inside other men that belong on the outside of other men and not inside other men disgust me. Shot glasses, flashlights, gerbils, and them little fuckers bite. You get bit inside the colon by one of them little fuckers, let me tell you, stings like a son of a bitch. And infection, whoa, that's a problem. Because you know what goes through your colon, right? Can you think of anything nastier and more germ-covered than a poop-covered guinea pig? Hell, I can't. And that's the sort of thing that leads people to trying to take our guns. Owning a gun and a guinea pig is a basic American right. Every man, woman, child, and hamster owner should have a gun. For one thing, not only can you protect yourself against minorities moving into your neighborhood, but if you should happen to get a field mouse caught up your colon, they sneak in there sometimes at night, you can stick a hunk of cheese into the barrel of a gun, stick it up the old poop chute, and if the mouse ain't already full from eating your goddamn intestinal linings, which they will, he will bite the cheese, and you can pull him right out of there where he never should have been in the first place, which is why you should never go to bed without underwear on, because if the mouse has to chew through your underwear, he'll probably wake you up. If he gets to just kind of slide up in there like it's a mouse hole, you might not even know he's there till it's too late. Hell, I knew a feller once had a field mouse stuck up his ass for nearly a year. Every day he'd put a wheel of cheddar cheese into his toilet and just sit there over it, hoping the mouse would smell the cheese and just come out on his own. It did come out, eventually, through his belly button. That's how they found him, dead, on his toilet, with a hole in his belly and a very bloody mouse trying to work its way between his ass cheeks into the toilet where it could get at the cheese. We had to burn the whole house down, but you didn't hear that from me. No, sir. If someone asks you how LBJ died, you just stick with the heart attack story if you know what's good for you. I'm Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert, and I approve this message because I'm not crazy. You got any cheese in here? All of a sudden I'm...
Hot cheddar injection.
Oh, I'm so sick of dealing with these ignorant fools.
That was really a good statement what you made, Mr. Barber.
Well, thank you, McGurk. It takes a man of your extreme intelligence to understand that which is not politically popular.
You know what I do when I'm a little bit depressed sometimes?
No, I'm sorry I don't, and I really don't care.
I sing a little song sometimes. You like to sing too, Mr. Barber. I've heard you sing before.
Oh, I didn't know anyone heard me. Well, thank you.
Why don't you sing that song again? I'll bet you it cheers you up, darling.
You know what, McGurk? I believe I will. I believe I will.
When I have a brand new statement, and I don't care if I'm a fool, I will blather without abatement. I enjoy being a tool. When guys say I'm cute and funny, and my shirt is all wet with drool, I just do it for the money. I enjoy being a tool. I smile when I make a racist comment. I do with no shame upon my face. I make the most idiotic statement. I'm a valuable moron that no one can replace. I'm strictly a dimwit, and my future I hope will be just to lobby some Senate nitwit who'll enjoy being a derp, meeting a tool like me. If you are a gay or lesbian and you think that makes you cool, I don't care, be you butch or drag queen, I enjoy being a tool. This whole LGBT experiment doesn't have any place in school. Let's teach kids to hate the different. I enjoy being a tool. When I hear the donors hit the PayPal, I think of vacations at the sea. I really don't care who's your play pal, but to make people hate you, it helps financially. I'm strictly a dimwit, and my future I hope will be just to lobby some Senate nitwit who'll enjoy being a derp, meeting a tool like me. Just to lobby some Senate nitwit who'll enjoy being a derp, meeting a tool like me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz.
Guy walks in the Senate, says, who can I fasten myself to? Who can I fasten myself to? Like some kind of leech in a pond. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot at the big bucks. Don't want to have only one term in the Senate graveyard. Gold digger, gold digger. Money to be made here, far away from my Texas home. Mr. Tea Party, get these libs away from me, you know. I don't need to be coherent anymore. If you be my bodyguard, I can climb into your bed. I can call you Larry. Larry, when you call me, you can call me Ted. Guy holds holds a fundraiser, says, where are my big contributions? Gonna need a lot more contributions, and whoa, campaigns are so long. Who wants my wife and family? Who wants to die here? Where is my sugar daddy? Now that my sugar daddy's there, he just ducked out to his bank, bought a roly-poly little bag of cash. All along, there'll be incidents and accidents. There'll be hints and allegations. Oh, yeah. If you'll be my bodyguard, I'll do things for you in bed. I can call you Larry. Larry, when you call me, you can call me Ted. Call me Ted.
We've got people that'll fight. And I think because of that, we're going to see a lot of action during the rest of the year, and especially in the Senate where the rules are more favorable to what we're trying to do. And Senator Cruz has shown that he may have only been there for 4 months, but he knows how to run circles around just about everybody else in that Senate. We've got a real hero there that's ridden into town from Texas. And I'm so happy that we made a major effort to support his campaign when he was a candidate, and he has not disappointed us, and I'm certain that he's not going to disappoint us. This guy is the real deal.
A man walks in the Senate, he's a bigwig in D.C., acts like it's a third world. That's because it's first time around, doesn't speak the language, but he has currency. He's a corrupt man, he's surrounded by the sound, pigs at the slopping trough, filling up the rotten gorges. He looks around and sees devils in the infrastructure. Realizing he's insane, he says, amen and hallelujah. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your guy in bed. I can call you Larry. Larry, when you call me, you can call me Ted. Call me Ted. Na 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 na. What the hell did I do that for? Weird sound.
If you be my
I think there might be something wrong with me after all. God damn it, I knew this Washington, D.C. was going to be bad for me. But it sure is working out well in the financial end, I tell you what.
If you be my bodyguard.
Anybody see my tater chips? I had tater chips when I came in here.
I can call you Larry.
I don't give a damn what you call me. Something better come up with my potato chips before I get pissed off.
If you be my bodyguard.
I don't want to be your goddamn bodyguard. I want my goddamn potato chips. Oh, wait, there they are.
I can call you Larry.
A whole bag of them. I lose them so easy sometimes. Oh, I think I'm crazy.
Three little cable news nets we hear every day on your TV. Not very bright, you must agree. Three little news nets we look very close and you will find. There's only one thing on our mind.
Keeping an eye on the bottom line.
Three little news nets we. Three little networks all on cable, covering stuff as best we're able, keeping the government unstable. Three little news nets we. Three little news nets we. One little news net is Fox News. Two misinformed with right-wing views.
Don't care for Muslims or Negroes.
Three little news nets we. Three little news nets we. Fox has the ratings, so you see. CNN has a legacy.
That leaves just MSNBC.
Three little news nets we. Three little news nets we. Three little news nets love disasters, hawking disease or terror blasters, all to enrich our corporate masters. We are the cable news. We are the cable news. Please watch MSNBC.
Blitzer reporting.
How
we got to say his name?
Go warily amid the noise and waste, and remember they have video cameras on every street corner now. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. You may need them as character witnesses. Seek out loud and aggressive persons. They make you look good by comparison. You can compare yourself with others without becoming vain and bitter, as long as you remember you know people who could have them killed. Always strive to be the tallest person in any group photo.
Hot cheddar injection.
I am the very model of a modern right-wing idiot. I only watch the Fox News and I like the Fox and Friends a lot. I know about Obama and I know about his place of birth. It wasn't in Hawaii, though, and not on this side of the earth. I know about his Muslim faith, although he went to Christian church, and you would know this too if you would care to do a Google search. He sacrificed Benghazi just to please his Islam overlords. Overlords. How do I... I've got it. A fact that we could learn for sure by using Cheney's waterboard. The fact that we could learn for sure by using Cheney's waterboard. The fact that we could learn for sure by using Cheney's waterboard. The fact that we could learn for sure by using Cheney's waterboards. I'm very good at picking out the bullshit from the real news. I do my very best to block out all prevailing liberal views in short, in conversations where I demonstrate my pundit wit. I am the very model of a modern wingnut idiot. In short, in conversations where he demonstrates his pundit wit, he is the very model of a modern wingnut idiot. I know our Christian history. The founders were religious men. I know that they resisted Satan's evil time and time again. These men were godly Christians, and they daily proved their bravery. It only took them several decades to get rid of slavery.
Some say that they were deists, and I really don't know what that means. I think that means they love the Lord much more than even collard greens. And when I pledge allegiance to the flag, I feel a special thrill. Special thrill. Special. Here it is. And he who disagrees with me is just a non-essential shill.
He who disagrees with me is just a non-essential shill. And he who disagrees with me is just a non-essential shill. And he who disagrees with me is just a non-essential shill.
Then I can sight a gun to kill from more than 90 yards away. A skill that no one doubts will come to be important any day. When contemplating tolerance, equality, and other shit, I am the very model of a modern wingnut idiot. When contemplating tolerance, equality, and other shit, he is the very model of a modern wingnut idiot. When I can see society is heading down a sewer drain, it makes me feel as if I have a red-hot spike inside my brain. Our leaders are all useless and are truly ineffectual. They let the liberals teach our kids how to be homosexual. And when I see our nation treating God with blatant disrespect, I know that he's a jealous God who'll kill us if we're left unchecked. It's very plain to see the right wing has to save the USA. Save the USA. Save the USA. Or we will wind up like the Greeks enforced at gunpoint to be gay.
Or we will wind up like the Greeks enforced by gunpoint to be gay. Or we will wind up like the Greeks enforced at gunpoint to be gay. Or we will wind up like the Greeks enforced by gunpoint to be gay.
We need a revolution, and I think that I'm well suited for committing an atrocity that's sure to start a civil war. But this time we'll control the outcome, kick their ass and never quit, because I'm the very model of the modern right-wing idiot. But this time we'll control the outcome, kick their ass and never quit, because he's the very model of the modern right-wing idiot.
Hello once again, my most excellent friends. This is the most holy Reverend Bishop Apostle Paul Tangerine, pastor of the First Tabernacle Assembly of Holiness, for his name's sake, in the righteous blood of the disciples of God and the one true Jesus of St. Petersburg, Florida. Coming to you today with a pair of special guests in the studio, Mark and Sharon, and they've asked me not to use their last name because they feel God has blessed them plenty. Isn't that right, Mark and Sharon?
Yes, Your Holiness.
Oh, that's not necessary. Just call me Bishop.
Well, all righty there, Bishop. Yeah, my wife and I, we agree on this, don't we, honey? God has certainly blessed us over this past year, showing us his love by sending us a deformed baby to love and cherish as our own.
Oh, my goodness, how lucky you are. It is the rare couple that gets to experience God's love in such a drastic and dramatic fashion. You must feel blessed indeed, Sharon.
I think what Sharon is trying to say is that, yes, we do feel remarkably blessed, and we thank all the people who saw our Facebook page and knew about our situation.
Well, tell us about your situation, Mark.
Well, Bishop?
I think I'd rather you call me Apostle.
All right, then, Apostle. I believe God began to show us his tender, merciful love when my wife Sharon had the ultrasound that showed that our firstborn child was going to be our firstborn child, I should say, did not have much of a head.
Oh, my, that's remarkable. Don't you think that's remarkable, Sharon?
Yeah, I think they call that condition... What do they call it, Sharon?
I don't know.
I believe the term for it is an encephalitic baby, meaning it ain't got no head.
Well, it had a head, Bishop, Apostle, but not much of one, you know. All the pictures we took of it after it was born, we made sure we put a hat on it so it wouldn't scare all the kids who were looking at the Facebook page.
What kind of blessing has this been for you, Mark?
Well, Apostle...
Why don't you just call me Reverend Tangerine?
All right, Reverend Tangerine. I believe the blessing was when we found out after the ultrasound that we had a choice between having a safe and clean abortion right there in the city, or forcing my beloved wife here, Sharon, to carry that baby full term. Of course, no childbirth is entirely without risk, and, well, we had plenty of risk, that's for darn sure. Sharon ruined more than one pair of hospital gowns just by bleeding clean through them, didn't you, honey?
What other ways do you feel God has blessed you with this wonderful, miraculous birth of a child missing bits of its head?
Well, I think what God is trying to teach us here, Reverend...
That's most Reverend.
I'm sorry. Most Reverend.
No, God.
What I think God is trying to teach us is that we should be humble and grateful for every gift we get. And one thing about God is he don't tell you how he's going to bless you. He might bless you with $1 million. He might bless you with a horrible, disfigured monster baby like he did to us. You just got to be grateful for whatever you get. And we got lots of gifts from folks that read our Facebook page, didn't we, honey?
Is your wife experiencing a working of the Spirit right now? For instance, is that her talking in tongues?
No, she gets like that just a lot lately. I mean, it might be a working of the Spirit. I don't know. You'd be more in a position to know a thing like that. If a working of the Spirit also includes wetting the bed every night, or trying to run a sharp knife across your wrist from time to time. You know how women get.
Eyes filled with mucus.
Actually, I've never touched the sinful flesh of a woman, nor will I ever.
Well, that's probably not a bad idea. At any rate, all them nice people that sent us money and sent pictures of their own deformed dead babies. It was truly a miracle to see God's working in such a fantastic way.
Well, Mark and Sharon, I couldn't agree more. Sometimes God shows his mercy and love by throwing a tornado down on a town, giving the survivors a chance to be thankful. And then there's that Ebola crisis. You know the one I'm talking about, right, Sharon?
Yeah.
Giving the people that get infected with that thing a chance to thank God for not dying, and maybe giving them an opportunity to reach out to the Lord in their last dying, blood-spattering moments.
Amen, Most Reverend.
That's Apostle.
Amen, Apostle.
So, Mark and Sharon, do you have any wisdom, any advice to share with other couples who might be listening right now, who got a woman with a baby in her belly right now what ain't got no head?
Well, it's like I said, the baby had a head. I mean, let's not make more out of it than what it was. There was a head there, just wasn't much of one. I mean, there was a face, and there was 2 eyes. At least we think it had eyes. It never opened its eyelids. But it lived for 27 minutes, so we treasure every moment we spent with that baby, don't we, honey? And considering how blessed we were by God and by the people that saw that Facebook page that my banker suggested we put up so we could pay for the house, me and Sharon, we're going to go home and start working on another little blessing from God right away. Isn't that right, honey?
Pain.
Sharon?
No more pain.
Sharon, where are you going?
Oh, my.
Sharon, I didn't tell you could leave.
You have upset her somehow.
Sharon, you get your pretty little ass back here and talk to the Reverend.
Leaving the studio.
God
walking right out
Sharon.
through the door there. Maybe she just wants to go start the car and warm it up for you or something.
Hey, if we're going to have another deformed baby, we're going to have to get to sexing, and I mean real soon. We don't have time for you to heal up.
No counting for some folks, I guess.
Jesus Christ.
This has been the Most Reverend Bishop Apostle Paul Tangerine, pastor of the First Tabernacle Assembly of Holiness for His name's sake in the righteous blood of the disciples of God and the one true Jesus in St. Petersburg, Florida. Send your money. Thank you.
You have so many people on Earth looking for chemical ways to chill out that they miss the very easy chance to just relax, read a book, listen to music, get your mind off of the hateful stuff for a little while. Stop looking for reasons to hate each other. People have the wrong idea about hell. They think we're separated from God down here, but we're not. We can see God. We just can't have any interaction with him. And let me tell you, he's not the hateful, vengeful bastard that so many of you think he is. I know. I'm Andrew Breitbart, and I'm in hell.
When he rolls up his sleeves, he ain't taking any shit. Our God is a badass God. He's picking up the sinners to crush them in his fist. Our God is a mean old God. And the Lord wasn't kidding when he kicked us out of Eden, and it wasn't for no reason that he'll shed your blood. His return is very close, so you better be believing our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. And when you disobey him and ignore what he said, our God is a big bad God. He will stomp on your cities until everybody's dead. Our God is a hateful God. Judgment and wrath, he's got that in bushels. Mercy and grace is for weaklings and fools. I hope that you have not too quickly forgotten our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. He scowls from heaven above with anger, vengeance, and wrath. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God. Our God is a pissed off God.
Hot Cheddar Injection.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that audio rendition of one of the first albums I put together back in 2013 or 14. Andrew Breitbart, or hang on here just a second, make sure I get, yeah. Andrew Breitbart is still dead, and I ain't feeling so great myself. Just do a search for that online, and you'll find it's available as a CD and as an MP3 download. Andrew Breitbart is still in hell, and I'm not doing so great myself today here on the Hot Cheddar Injection. And he pushes a button, and here we go. We'll probably do this again on Monday, so we'll see you then. And if not, well, we'll see you when we see you. Oh, enjoy your long weekend, government employees. This is, of course, President's Day weekend. This podcast and its content copyright 2016 by Bill Schmalfeld, all rights reserved. So keep your cotton picking hands off the copy button.
That's gonna happen, and here it is.